All right, welcome to assembly part 2. Again, if we're starting over, I've set my working directory. I've chosen assembly. I'm going to assemble my lock body. This is a review quick. We'll take the lock body, hit open, place it down in here, right click and hold for a second and fix constraint. And now we can see that the lock body is fully constrained, and that's what we want, so we'll hit the green check. Now we're going to add a part to it. I'm going to zoom out a little bit. I'm going to put my hasp in here, the little part that closes. So we'll put the lock hasp, find it right here, and hit open, and it brings in a part for me to look at. So I'm going to click it and just lay it down. It just brings it in any old weird orientation. You can see now I have 3 axes that I can rotate this on because it's not constrained at all right now. So I can move this thing around in the 3 axes that we have. It came in like this. And what I like to do is kind of roll it before I pick any constraints, kind of line it up to where it's going to go. It's going to go into these holes here. So I'm going to kind of lay it down like that and get it kind of close to what it should look like. And then I'm going to start adding constraints. If you see, and I roll in here, this surface turned green, but if I go right in here, I can pick the center of that circle that I've extruded, the leg of that hasp. I'll click on it. It says automatic, and now there's a string attached to my cursor. And it's asking me, select any reference for auto type constraining. So it's asking me, where do you want to put this thing? And I want to line up the center of that with the center of this hole. So I'll go over here, and then the A1 turns green. I can click on it, and you can see it slammed it in there, and it called it a coincident. That means it just locked them to right on top of each other. That's what coincident means. So it's still only partially constrained. I can still move this in and out, which is fine if that's what you want to do, but I can still roll it this way so it'd be out of alignment if I'm trying to check things on my assembly. So I want to add another constraint. I want to constrain this leg to that hole. So I'm going to go over there. I'll find the center of that, and I'll come over here. I got my little string attached, and I'll find the center of this hole, A2. I'll click on that, and it said orientated to it. I'm going to constrain it. I can change it to a distance. I can change it to an angle, offset, parallel. I want it coincident again, right on top of each other. And I think I'm going to leave it like that so I can move this back and forth as I put in other parts to check and see what everything looks like. If I hit the green check, we'll see what happens. It stays there. All right, if I want to move that, you'll see this little square here. It means it's not fully constrained. So I can go back in, right click on it, go to edit the definition, and I can move that. So I can take it outside my lock if I want and hit the green check, and it'll stay there. But it'll always keep these 2 constraints together and keep me in line with these 2 holes in the lock body. So I can move that all around as much as I want. I'll put it back in. Now the good thing about the assembly right now is that I can take this. I'm going to hit save, so I got a copy saved. It's in my lock folder. And I'll hit OK. It's saved a copy. Now what I can do is if I need to make a change on this hasp, let's say, I can open up the hasp as a part. And it came in over on my other screen, so give me a second. I'm going to shrink this down so you can see what's going on. So I have the hasp in here. I'm going to turn on my plane lines on this so I can see everything again. If I make a change here, if I want to put a hole in the middle there, I can. So I'll go on my front plane, sketch, and if I put a circle, if I want to put a hole in here, I can do that. Hit OK. I'll extrude it. Equal on both sides of the plane. Hit the green check to say I like it. Now I got a hole all the way through my hasp. If I hit save, I can go back to my assembly now. I can click on the actual screen. You can see that it automatically updates my assembly. So any parts, any assemblies that have that part in it will be updated with my new hasp. So now we can start checking things and making sure things fit together, and we can make changes, and we'll know before we even print that these things are working. I'll go on to part 3 in a minute.